Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Erica Person, and welcome to another episode of the Flex Audiology Show. Today, we're going to talk about how long does it take for my brain to adjust to new hearing aids. And before we get started, if you could do me a favor and click that subscribe button, that's super helpful to help us grow our channel. So how long does it take for your brain to adjust to hearing aids? The short answer is about 45 to 60 days, but let's talk about the why, because your brain plays a much larger role than your ears. So we often think of hearing as something that happens in the ears, but in actuality, it happens in the brain. Your ears are just the delivery system. Think of them as two little microphones collecting the sound and sending it up to the brain. The brain takes that sound, it processes it, it prioritizes it, and then it creates speech. So when hearing loss happens, especially gradually, your brain will kind of turn down the volume, for lack of a better term, on certain frequencies. And then over time, those auditory pathways, they start to become underused or weak. And for some patients, those nerves can completely die off. So we don't want to wait too long. However, the good news is once we reintroduce those sounds to your brain through the use of the hearing aids, those little pathways do start to waken up a little bit more. And it's like physical therapy for your auditory system. And they just need repetition over time to get adjusted. So when I say it's 45 to 60 days, it's really about how long your brain starts to reorganize and reprioritize the sound input that's coming in, and especially if you're using them every day. So if you've been here at all, I'm constantly telling our patients you have to wear your devices 8 to 10 hours a day. That is what your brain needs to be able to fully adapt. And in the beginning, like normal sounds, like your footsteps or the hum of the refrigerator, things like that can feel super loud, super strange. I had someone just the other day tell me he had no idea that the wood planks in his house were so squeaky. So that's not a problem with the devices. It's just your brain trying to figure out what's important again. And if it hasn't heard it in a long time, it'll actually kind of spike it up and make it louder. So that way your brain can get tuned into it. Now, some people, they adjust faster, especially if they're coming in because they caught their hearing loss a lot earlier, and then others take longer. If you've had hearing loss for 30 to 40 years, we can't fix it overnight. It's going to be something that's gradual and takes a little bit of perseverance on your part, okay? Now, here at Flex Audiology, of course, we don't just hand you the hearing aids and say, good luck, and put you at full prescription. We do follow a science-based, brain-friendly approach to the fitting. So here we will start with what we call real ear measures or live speech mapping. Some people call it probe mic measures. And it really just means that we're fitting your devices based on your unique ear canal and hearing prescription. And it's not guesswork. It's truly precision. We can see it up on the screen. So we are going to match what you need for your particular hearing loss in your situation. And then here's the thing, we'll turn it up initially just to make sure that the devices are working, that we can hit your prescription, we feel good about the devices. But if I let you leave with them like that, you would hate me. You would come back and say, I can't wear these. These are way too loud. And I see that so often when we adopt patients from other practices. They were literally told you have to wear it at full prescription. So instead, we like to start you around maybe 70 to 80% of your prescription. That percentage is really based on how you react once we get the devices in your ears. And then think about it as like easing into a workout. You don't want to lift those heaviest weights on day one. So we gradually increase that amplification over time. And we like to use that full somewhere between, I'd say 30 to 60 days to get you up to your full prescription. It gives your brain just time to really rewire, get re-stimulated, and learn how to filter and organize those sounds without being overloaded or frustrated. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, well, what can I do to help my brain adapt faster? Because I always have those patients that say, I don't want it to take 2 months to get up to full prescription. Let's do it quicker. Number one is just wear those hearing aids every single day. That is the best that you can do. And then beyond that, you can do kind of your own auditory training if you want. So Listen to music that you haven't heard in a long time, but you know the words. Watch movies that you're familiar with. Read out loud, sing. The more consistent you are, the faster your brain can adapt. And then don't be surprised if you notice new sounds or different reactions to sound, because that's all part of your auditory system relearning. So here at Flex Audiology, we're just here to guide you through the entire process step by step. We want to call and make sure that when we let you leave, that we started you at a prescription that was best for your needs, whether it's 70, 80 or not. So we'll follow up with you and make sure that we started you appropriately. And if not, we definitely want to bring you in. And if you are going someplace else and you have experienced any of this where you just couldn't wear your devices, or maybe you're someone that for some reason you wore your devices and then you did adapt, but now for some reason you stopped wearing them and it's maybe a year later and you have to restart the process over. Don't be afraid to go back to your provider and say, hey, I hate to tell you this, but I haven't been wearing them. Now everything's too loud. Can we start over with the process? They would be more than happy to do that for you. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Your brain is ready, and I'm excited for you to get on this journey. Thanks and have a great day.